XSSL state championship. With me are the junior Spartans, except for this tall man right here. I don't know how your junior look.
I'm only
53, and he's 9 years old. Figured that one out. And I know he's not 9 years old, but listen, junior Spartans, congratulations on making it this far to state championship. From what I understand, it should be a pretty good show by you guys out there. I'm not going to bring too much talk because I understand you guys are about to do that in the field, but I appreciate you guys being here. Coach, I appreciate you being here as well. So if you don't mind, introduce yourself and the position you play.
My name is Landell Lockett. I play DN and receiver.
All right.
Bradley, I play slot.
Raylan Black, I play DB.
Put some bass in your voice.
See, just a little bit louder. He'll be all right. So, fellas, I want to ask this much because you guys, you play spring ball now, right? So you'll be off for what, about 2 months, a week? Okay. So you're making the transition now, right?
All year round.
Okay. But making the transition now. You guys win a state championship today. How does it make you feel when you go into your senior year? You guys all going to senior years, I'm assuming?
I am.
No? You are? Okay.
It's gonna make us feel like the best in the nation.
All right. So tell me what got you guys to this point to obviously make it up to the state championship game. Coach, I'll leave that up to you.
Playing together, determination, and just being a team, just being a family, most of all. So,
listen, and I'm just enjoying it being out here today, watching everybody out here. The team beforehand, I guess the Patriots, for those who don't know, the one kid, we might check his birth certificate because he was a tall kid. I don't know if he's 12 or not. Obviously, I'm with a tall man that's next to me. I'm kidding around. But so for your senior year, you go into two things, right? One is you win a state championship today. You have the possibility of winning another one with your high school. So now you talk about as far as the influence of coaching right here. Who are one of your major influences other than coach? Because I'm going to get back to him in a second.
Other than coach, probably Coach Knight. That's my dog.
All right. Who else?
I say Adrian. He cool when he want to be.
All right. How about mom and dad?
Oh yeah, I love my mom and my dad.
Okay. All right. See, that's what I was looking for as well. You can't forget that.
I thought
right?
you meant that's on the team.
His dad is watching from afar. Where your dad is watching from?
Is he really?
Yeah, my mom.
All right. Well, listen. Let them know because we're out here.
I love you, mama.
Right? You
Number
guys.
one in the nation.
Wait, listen, your senior year, right? Is exciting.
Yeah.
You got one more. Then, are you hoping to go to college?
Oh yeah. That's the main objective.
Right. So, which college you hoping to go to?
Any school that offers me.
All right. And then for you guys, because you guys, sophomore, and then you were going to your junior year. All right. So the expectations. We'll switch around here a little bit. The expectations, as far as the same way, you guys are all. I'm assuming all going to the same high school, correct? No. So, which high school are you going to?
I'm going to Mulberry.
All right. Mulberry. All right. So both of you guys going to the same ones?
I go to Lake LG.
Okay. All right. So as things get, as far as when it comes to high school and things get better for you guys, you going into your junior year, coming from playing as far as on the little league or as far as small ball, and then obviously getting to where you are right now. The big transition point, the biggest transition point that you guys have seen coming into your junior year. What can you take away from playing spring ball and then bringing that as well to your junior season?
Just learning and getting better and learning to compete.
All right. Same with you.
Honestly, I could be anywhere I'll go. So it is what it is. Smoke from pool, straight like that.
Don't let the size fool you.
I want to see. I want to see out there in the field. So listen, fellas, I hope you guys have a great game today. I do appreciate it, Coach. Same thing as well. I appreciate everything you do. Not only for these fellas, obviously for Lakeland, for the school as well, because it means a lot. And I hope you guys take all this in, right? Because I remember years ago, felt like it was just yesterday when I was in high school. Right? You guys got a better opportunity than what I did. I came from Philly. What you guys have out here, there's nothing close. Nothing close.
Shout out to PA. I'm from Pittsburgh.
Are you? So western side. Okay. All right. See, we got some relation here. Philly and Pittsburgh, by the way, we get along, but we don't get along when it comes to football season. Yeah. So coming from that side, Pittsburgh has better schools than what Philly did. Philly is tough. I'm going to tell you, it's a tough crowd. You would probably do well in Philly. You as well, because you guys have to have tough skin. It's not easy.
I just came from Philadelphia.
He's scary.
And the stairs killed me. It's like going upstairs everywhere you go. So they killed me. I'm not gonna tell you the story. Not looking to go back to Philly.
Too many cheeseburgers.
But it's all right though. It's
Straight up.
yeah, it's tough. But listen, I love Florida. Being down here now for 5 years, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people I get to meet down here. But I just hope that you guys all do well today. So good luck out there. Hopefully y'all take away the state championship because I know the other team don't want y'all to show up. Man, if y'all saw the hype video that was out there,
It's gonna be a blowout.
They talking a lot of trash, but we gonna show them on the field. I haven't responded all week to the trash talking. We'll show them on the field.
all right,
Just be ready for me to score.
okay,
Dunk on the goal post.
all right. I'm going to see it then.
Windmill. What you want under the legs? I got you. I can do it all.
How about, all right, give me one under leg and then a windmill in the second
I
score.
got you on the second.
Okay. It won't be too much. Well, listen, fellas, congratulations for making it this far. I hope y'all at least come home with the championship, coach. Again, I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
All right, fellas. All right, so the opposing team is here, the Brandon Warriors. I hear a lot of good things. I also hear some crazy things, and obviously to get to this point here. But the good things are that you guys obviously are here. You made it to the state championship. It's got to mean a lot for everyone, including coach, to get to this point. And even if it's spring ball, I think what a lot of people take not for granted, but they don't understand that it takes a lot just to get to this point, especially with every team member I've ever seen or spoken to along with the coaches, because every single one of you guys all have different personalities. But to go out in that field, you all have to be as one, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the nice thing about Brandon, which is the good thing, is that you guys are one. The bad thing is you guys haven't won yet. That's the only bad thing I can say right now because the game hasn't been played yet. So we'll see. But starting here, obviously with the quarterback, a lot of determination to get to this point. You have to be focused in order to be able to pull off the state championship. So what do you do other than today to get prepared to at least for a state championship game?
A lot of practice, hard work, dedication to getting everything down, getting ready for the game.
All right. Same for you.
So work as a team, work hard, and just get that win.
Same thing. Just we all just got to focus on, just like you said, we all got different personalities and everything. But when we're on the field, we all one. We all one person. Basically, when we touch that field, we're all one person. We just got to focus. We're gonna get.
All right. Listen, it seems like everybody's just humble, right? There's a difference between you have some people have just straight up cockiness. Some people just either they're misunderstood or they come out. And some players, you see them, they come out to the field just it's straight face, right? Like a poker face until the game is over. You guys, even though you look determined, but you look a little bit loose as well. And that's the most important part when they go out to the football field because everybody knows, coach, you know it as well. If you guys aren't having fun, right, it shows out there in the field. If the team gets under your skin, y'all know how that goes too. Right, because you have all the bragging rights you want to when that game is over. As long as y'all holding that trophy at the very end, that's what makes a difference. So going to high school, are all you guys seniors?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this will be the final year that you guys go into high school. Then hopefully the next progression will be for college.
Yes,
So what's it mean? Just like I asked the other team here, what would it mean for you guys to win the state championship today and then go into your senior year?
I mean, it'll be everything for me. I worked so hard to try to get a championship, and I still ain't got one. So today will tell me if I get it.
All right. You have any under your belt?
Just give it my all. Like I've been to the States before. This my fourth one coming here, so I gotta give all I got.
Same thing. I'm gonna give it my all. Get what I need to get. Got to get to the pot of gold, man. You already know.
Well, that's all right. And for those who are joining us from overseas, from all around the world, it's Sports Radio 102.9. The Game, also Broad Street South. Here again with the Brandon Warriors. Coach, if I can squeeze you in here for a second. Again, you have what seems like just humble guys, honestly. Because I've been to interviews before, and guys that just walked in like they TO, right? They got it all. But then go out in the field, and things go absolutely wrong. So what's it mean to you, Coach, getting to this point here with the state championship? and also to having these players here that you may not see again, whether it be in the future, but you know that you have coached them and mentored them to get to that next level.
It's been a long time coming, man. It's took us 5 years to get here. Originally, my son was his last year of youth, and he said, "Dad, let's start a high school team." And I said, "Well, I got the money, I buy the equipment, you build a team." And here he is, 5 years later. Um, it means so much to me, man, just to give back to these communities and keep these kids off these streets because, you know what I mean, in the streets, a lot of kids are dying. You know what I mean? There's no more structure. There's no more, the world's messing up. And if I can keep these kids all safe for 2 hours on the field, I know my job is done. And I like to see them get a future, not stay in the hood. Because a lot of them stay in the hood. They don't want to, that guidance. You know what I mean? I try to guide them, do the right thing. You know what I mean? Believe in God, talk to God. Because without all this, without God, none of this was possible.
That's so true. And that's where a lot of people forget. See, I want y'all to remember that key word, right? Because it's true. Without God, none of this happens. We don't awake. We don't go to sleep. Without God being in your heart, and I know a lot of people don't want to say that anymore, but it's the honest God's truth. Without God, none of us are here today, right?
And I got one more thing to say. We had a player, used to play for the Warriors. He lost his life last year through gun violence. So we're playing today. We've been playing all year for the kids that lost their life to gun violence. They'll never get this chance. And today we'll be flying J-Bugs. People call him Big Mac, number 33. I gave him that number when he first came to play with me because that was my high school number. And we're going to fly today and we're going to win this trophy for him today.
I'm pretty sure he's going to appreciate it for sure. And Coach, I mean, I understand when you talk about taking 5 years just to get to this point. As an NFL fan, as an Eagles fan, as I'm originally from Philly, right, it took us forever to finally get that first Super Bowl championship. So even to get to this level, and that's something that you guys should appreciate as well, for Coach to be determined to get here, and even if it's taken him 5 years to get here, whether win or lose, no matter what, you still got here, no matter which way you look at it.
It's still priceless memories that I will always enjoy in my life.
So listen, Coach, congratulations. Let's hope you can pull off the win, fellas. All right, good luck out there. All right, and I want to see hopefully your QB. Right, make sure y'all protect him. Make sure to tell the rest of the team because without him, and the rest of you guys as well, the entire team, but they go after him might be a little bit of a problem. So, fellas, good luck out there.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hopefully everybody can now hear us. Unfortunately, there was one disconnect. So thanks to my other co-hosts, Ryan and my hermano Rich Quinones, calling some good games for the AC Gambits out there for the TBL. So hopefully everybody can hear the audio. And yes, we'll be able to hear what you missed as this gets replayed. I can't blame it. See, I blame the Thursday night show. If you're still watching, I blamed it on him because we ended up having Michael Barkan on Thursday.
Yes.
And Michael Barkan, he spent 15 minutes with us on the Thursday broadcast. And unfortunately, I was telling them we weren't live yet officially. And so everybody got about 9 minutes worth of just, hey, what's going on? Until he finally I was like, oh, wait, no, we'll go with it. So things happen when you go live, but it's okay. Finally, we got the audio issue worked out. So if you guys are tuning in, thank you so much. And I appreciate for everyone letting me know that the audio was out. 5:39 left here in the first half. It is 18-0 Spartans, as I'm looking at the scoreboard where it says Panthers. My apologies. Junior Spartans up 18-0 over the Brandon Warriors. And right now, Warriors with the ball. They're at about the 45-yard line. Snap over to the running back and right back to the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Different different place, same story. Just the Spartans are easily getting into the backfield. I do, again, obviously, while they may not have heard us earlier on in the broadcast and stuff like that. You will be able to if you rewatch it. But I was saying earlier that if you're going to run the ball, you need to be able to hold on to the ball. The Warriors have had fumbling problems throughout the entire game up to this point. And another issue that is coming to light is that the Warriors' offensive line is getting absolutely dominated by the Spartans' defensive line. It seems as though the Spartans are not even getting touched while they're trying to get into the backfield based off of their running game. I'm not sure if it's also the lack of creativity in the running game as well. There's been a few plays where some jet sweeps and stuff like that where they've gained a few yards, but it seems like they're just trying to run up the middle in hopes that a gap's going to open up, but their offensive line isn't very much helping them in that case.
It hasn't. If you look at the Spartans defense too, I mean, you're not running anything up the middle. At this point, you're not even running anything on the outside if you end up looking at it, because the Warriors have made zero adjustments. I mean, you're talking about with some 5:01 left here in the first half. I mean, the Warriors has been, since you and I talked about at the beginning of the broadcast here, it's been the same. It's just been flat. I mean, there's no adjustments. Either they're running you got three receivers, either they switch from your left to your right, but it's been the same. I mean, there's been absolutely no adjustments. So it's interesting to me where we just keep seeing the same from the Warriors, which has basically been absolutely nothing. The Spartans defense, I mean, you called it earlier. Safeties are just, everybody on defense is just having a relaxed time at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from the start of the game to at this point in the game, now that the Spartans are running one safety look right here, and instead of the two safety look that they started out the game with, and I would do like a cover zero until they throw the ball right here.
Ooh, there's a flag on the play. Good hit there. So you had James coming in on defense. From the Warriors, you had Taylor, who was running with the ball, but James comes across. Stops the short, waiting to see what the flag on the play is. Coach Knight was having a conversation there with the ref. And you got to give it to the refs here. It's been a long day.
Very long day. Very hot day. Long and hot.
Hopefully they've gotten some. I saw the hydration station out there earlier. Warriors running the first time going up the middle all game long.
Well, they've gone up the middle, but successfully.
Yeah,
they've gotten up the middle.
This is true. So 6 yards looking on the game. So they're back at least, what is it, 3rd and 10 at this point. So they gained what they lost. So right now they're at the 50-yard line. I think it's been the biggest gain, Eric, for the Warriors all game long. Here we go. Here's a snap, running across again, and there's a loss. So back to where they started. 6 yards back. 10 yards back.
10 yards back. That was a great play there by number 12, Evans. I just saw him completely just coming up explosive off the snap right there and just blowing past the offensive line there to get into the backfield. It's like he knew the play. He knew exactly what the play was. Obviously, the Warriors have just been running the ball, but there's different types of running the ball, and just a simple jet sweep right there. That was very impressive by him. I mean, the explosiveness off the snap was impeccable.
That it was. And so we're glad we got the audio issue fixed, first of all. But it's been, nevertheless, the picture has been there. So that's the great part about it. The picture has actually been there. So we thank you once again for joining us here out in Mulberry, Florida, right down the road from Tampa. If you guys are out in this area, obviously we're in Central Florida here. A beautiful afternoon. It's about 92 degrees, I believe, when we pulled up this afternoon. So it's been a very hot day. So the Warriors are getting ready to take the snap here. State championship game on the line. Excuse me, before Spartans with the snap. Here's a pickup of about 4.
A little chirping going on after the play right there. Nothing too serious, just some competitiveness coming out.
That's it, pretty much.
That's all. It'll be interesting to see if the Spartans can score within the remaining 2 minutes of this second quarter and going into half here. It'd be an exclamation point on what has been a dominant first half by the Spartans.
It definitely has. Spartans have been in control of this whole entire game. I mean, the first 3 scores, 1 off of a turnover, but it's been easy so far for the Spartans this afternoon.
You got to think they're going to about to take a deep shot right here and try to get into scoring.
I think so. Walker Monchis on the left. Nope. Running back takes it and nowhere to go.
But I have to say, neither team has had very much success with the run game at this point, though. The only advantage is that the Spartans are willing to throw the ball and have been successful throwing the ball, especially with Walker, of getting the ball to his playmakers and in doing so. And I would have to think that right here, you might as well take a shot into the end zone right here, and see if you can score a little bit of extra points with less than a minute left going into halftime.
Now, this one, I'll take it back to where we talked about earlier when we saw in the first quarter, obviously Walker taking a shot early on that wasn't needed. At this point, as you're saying right now, 103 left, or about 45 seconds left here in the half, that's when you do want to take the shot, and here we are. So Walker looks, he's looking, goes deep, comes across, and overthrown to the left, far to the left. And it looks like it was intended for Baptiste.
I can't hate the play right there. I really can't. I mean, even if it, let's say, were to turn into any type of turnover, I still have to agree with the play call right there. Your defense is absolutely just shutting down the Warriors offense to this point. So it's showing that you put trust in your quarterback and putting trust in your defense that, hey, if it is a turnover right here, doesn't matter. You guys are going to go out there and stop them anyways.
Right. Here we go. We hit the zeros, and now here's a run. And they finally blow the play dead. It looked like someone, I could be wrong, but look, yeah, it should be the personal foul. It looked like someone took a jab there at the very end of it. Warriors seem to be looking heated.
Go to the locker room.
Warriors looked to be heated at the very end of that play. There was a flag that came out, but the half was already there. So at the half, it is 18-0. Your junior Spartans were the Brandon Warriors. And you got to think about it. I mean, at this point, it's just, I don't know what the Warriors are going to do here because, again, we've seen it so far early on. We've seen it so far early on where at this point, we've seen there's been no adjustments as we talked about it earlier on the broadcast. Warriors come out and then they just look absolutely flat. I don't know what's going to take for him to kind of shake it up. It doesn't seem like the coach is going to be doing much of anything at this point as we get some things turned around here. And we'll see here momentarily. So it as it looks at this point, I mean, what are we going to be looking at here at the second half?
It's obviously, I think that the Spartans are going to go into more of a run-based game and just trying to milk the clock. They're up 18-0 with a half left to go. You don't need any of your guys to really to get injured
Right.
at this until it becomes a competitive game, because it has not been that much of a competitive game up until this point. So I would have to say, on the Spartan side of the ball, defense, just keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, it's been working. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And for the offense side of the ball, as we saw going into the half, just milk the clock, just run the ball. No need to take any deep shots, unnecessary shots, except for that last one right there where it's going into half. You might as well just throw up a prayer and see if it's answered. But with a whole half left, there's no reason to take unnecessary risks. You don't need to ask much out of Walker, the QB, to do much. Just either make some nice, short, smart passes, or just hand the ball off to your running backs, see what they can do. If they can get a few yards and get a first down, then that's great. But if not, then so what? You burnt clock. You're still up possibly by 3 scores.
Right.
So, but on the Warriors side, it's whether or not they want to make the adjustments. Do you want to still keep with the game plan of just running the ball that has been very unsuccessful? During the audio issue and stuff like that, I was talking to the GM Ronnie, and he was telling me a little bit about the team and how they try to punish you and grind you down, but it has been the complete opposite.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it has been. And a lot of times when I've spoken to Ronnie off air, for the most part, he's talked about how he makes necessary adjustments when needed. He did mention at one point or another, it may not have been a close game. At this point, obviously it isn't, with obviously the Spartans being up 18-0. So we will see it. It could be a tale of two tales. Who knows if things could flip around? We've seen it before. I know the quarterback from the Warriors had talked about his mentor that he can't necessarily follow, but it was Patrick Mahomes, and he tries to kind of play himself off like Mahomes as well. I wouldn't say it's Mahomes-like from seeing from the Warriors today. I mean, nowhere even near it. But again, I mean, your angst. There's a lot of things you're looking to emotions. These guys were supposed to play each other 2 weeks ago. They didn't play each other. So that could have been a warm up to today's game. So we'll see. A lot of adjustments could be made. The Warriors are going to need it. If not at this point, they're going to fall themselves flat. If we take a look at it, I mean, there's no real answer right now for the Spartans defense, because the Spartans defense has been, other than what we saw 5 yards, the biggest run that we saw from the Warriors. I mean, that's the most that we've seen. So Spartans have been doing really well.
The answers for that is to show them, you don't have to be successful at it, but show them we can throw the ball. We have the ability to throw the ball at an intermediate range. Does not have to be deep shots, just an intermediate throw. Let your quarterback work a little bit. Trust your quarterback. With this ground and pound offense of just running the ball and not having one pass attempt, what tells to me is that they have worry within the circle of their quarterback. Maybe their quarterback has lost the trust of the coaches, and that's why the play calling is the way that it is. But in this half, I mean, you don't really have much to lose. You're down 18.
Right.
So you might as well try to trust your QB and show him that you trust his play by letting him go out and try to make plays with his arm instead of his legs.
Damn. Well, again, we'll see. We have about 5 or so minutes left before the half, so we're going to take a quick break here. And again, thank you all for joining us here today. I'm Angel Martinez with Eric Mendelowitz, my co-host here at Broad Street South, and pretty soon it'll be called a subsidiary network. You'll find out here momentarily when that will happen. That'll break, and Eric will be my co-host here in Florida, which is a great thing, at least for me. I would say selfishly, because he was with me when the Tampa Bay Titans, so I'm glad he's with me here on Broad Street South Network. Also, if you all are listening overseas from Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game, we do appreciate it as well. So we will take a quick break. We will come back, and we'll see everybody here at the second half. All right, so we're getting ready for the second half, Eric, here with the Warriors being down 18-0. Lots that we got into during the break here. Again, we thank everyone for tuning in tonight. The XSSL State Championship, when you throw all those letters and almost sounds similar, it's kind of tough. But again, we thank everyone for tuning in tonight on BroadStreetSouth.com. Again, on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game. As I keep saying, the apps are coming, folks. They are coming, so make it easier to be able to download it on your phone so you won't miss any of the action anywhere. It'll be available on Android and on the Apple Store. So that should be a lot of fun. Again, Eric Mandelowitz here with me and joining me for the basketball season here in Florida, along with also the football season. So, and that's coming up shortly, which is terrific. And again, there's going to be a network to be named here, probably just in a few weeks. That way, you guys, you'll know exactly who and what we're talking about. But as we get ready here in the second half, I guess, what are the expectations for the second half?
I would say the expectations for the second half is that Spartan side, keep doing what you're doing on defense. Just keep rolling out there. The same game plan you had. Warriors, if you're a fan of the Warriors, what you would expect, I think, is just a few passes. And we were talking about it does not have to be deep passes, doesn't have to be a post pass, post fade, a streak down the field. It can be a 5-yard slant. It can be a screen pass.
Right.
I mean, the screen pass is almost similar to the running game, but it still is a little bit more unique. It keeps the cornerbacks honest instead of just crashing down into the pocket and just letting go of their responsibilities for the wide receivers. So I would say that as a Warriors fan, that's what your expectations should be. Just something new, a new look for the Spartans defense, because the Spartans defense has just been absolutely killing the Warriors offense so far.
They have. So we'll see. We'll find out. Unless for some reason, Coach Knight wants to hit the brakes for the Spartans, I don't see that coming, but we'll see. Do we also have a new quarterback? The Warriors run up the middle. It's a gain about 3.
A little bit of chippiness going on after the play and stuff like that. Obviously, the activities right before halftime have somewhat carry over. Hopefully, it will it'll stop and stuff like that, and it'll just keep it on the field and within the play, and not any extracurricular activities after the play.
Well, it shouldn't happen, especially,
exactly.
Even if the Warriors got talked to during the half here, because obviously before the half came around, they got a little heated, but could be the first. There you go. First pass for at least a gain of 4.
The quarterback didn't look bad there. I mean, I don't know what changed to where the Warriors put trust in their QB's arm to make those types of throws. But again, that's the type of throws that we were talking about that they should just be looking to make. Little curl, 5-yard curl routes is all you need right there to keep the cornerbacks and the linebackers honest right there, instead of just rushing the box to the QB.
Right. And I didn't see Freddie in the lineup as well. So here's another snap. This one again, running on the right side. And again, he fumbles, but it goes out of bounds.
But that's good. That's good right there, because with the Warriors, you're moving the linebackers back on the Spartans because you just showed you can throw the ball 5 yards.
Right.
Moving those linebackers back means it's easier. It's an easier box for your running back to run in. The Warriors really like running up the middle right there. So a lot of people say that the passing game is an extension of the running game, but there are cases where the running game can be an extension of the passing game. If you can prove that you can pass, then it makes it easier for your running backs and the running game to get yards.
There goes another snap. Defense coming around safety. He didn't know it's going to run by the QB. So at least a gain of 1. He got back to the line of scrimmage and 1.
I like what I see so far out of the Warriors quarterback right there. I mean, he has pocket awareness enough to avoid getting sacked while also understanding that he's still under pressure, and he's just trying to get as many yards as he can within the moment.
There's a quick snap. Something they didn't do the first half. So he looks now, runs with the ball again. Gains about 9 yards this time. First down up to the 44-yard line.
A little bit of a QB draw action right there. Again, you're able to do that because you've shown that you've passed. So I like what I see so far. The Warriors, I'm happy to say, have made adjustments since the first half of this football game.
Maybe we should have kept the mics on during the break so everybody could hear exactly what we talked about, what the Warriors needed to do at this point. So Spartans defense, though, still playing strong here. We're sure it's going to be there's the safety jumped on the left side, but again, running this time, gaining about 7 yards down to about the 38-yard line. So he talked about earlier that he referred himself as to Patrick Mahomes from KC. And he said how he idolized him and wanted to play like him. I mean, those are kind of harsh if you want to look at it. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a whole different caliber of a player. Probably taking over from what the Tom Brady era was, but it looks like it might be a timeout. But once again, when you're looking at as you're looking at the Warriors, and obviously the quarterback making the most runs that we've seen, the most adjustments that we've seen from the first half. I mean, this is what his third run, gaining 4 yards this time versus losing it in the first half. Biggest pass play that we saw, over 6 yards. So what happened?
It's that 6-yard pass. It's just that. I mean, just one attempt right there kept the defense honest. And it is a different type of running that is going on now. They're doing a lot. The QB specifically is not just running up the gut immediately when the ball is snapped to him when he's under center. He's in a shotgun formation. And then as a result, he goes back for a second or two. He's thinking about passing. He may be thinking about passing. And then he takes off whenever he sees an opening. Beforehand, they were just running where they were told to run to. Wherever the game plan was, like, hey, you got to run in the A gap, just go. Now they're improvising a little bit. If the A gap's not open, okay, well, let me run to the right side instead. As the quarterback does get sacked here by the Spartan defense. And once again, Lockett making headlines. I mean, he's making all types of plays out there on the defensive side of the ball.
That he is, with about 8:27, 8:26 left here in the third. Still 18-0 in case you guys are just tuning in. The Spartans are up 18-0 or ahead. I'm pretty sure my producer would like to tell me differently, but they are ahead. Does I get the nod here? Yes. She gives me the nod of they are ahead. So going back here, one of the ball games, I said the Phillies were winning. And I should have said ahead. They were winning, then they end up turning on and they lose. So now I make just fun of myself here. But here's a snap. Quarterback keeps it, runs, falls forward for about a good 6 yards for the gain.
Now, what I'm seeing from the Spartans defense right here is they're now playing it as a QB draw, as they're anticipating that the QB is going to step back. They're rounding the outside they're taking the edge and trying to get to the quarterback like they did just there, instead of what they were doing before is trying to take the inside edge where the Warriors, they were just running the ball up the middle and stuff like that. So if I was Warriors, I would maybe now go back to the original type of run play right here, where, again, we see it's just and
he goes down. He could be in some pain here. Nope, bounces back up. Maybe he's up in frustration. But so now you're looking at Eric. I mean, it looked, nope, he's back down again. He might have been twisted up on that play there. But it looked like the first set of series coming out here at a half. I mean, it seemed like right now the Warriors were actually moving the ball as best they possibly could. But then now the last two plays, keeping it still with the quarterback. I mean, now you just fall flat again.
Yeah. I think I have to give credit to the Spartans defense right here, because they adjusted very quickly and on the fly. Obviously, the Warriors were doing a lot of QB draw right there, but they adjusted to that very effectively, as well as they got the Spartans back on offense right here.
So now Walker with the ball, keeps it. He looks like he was going to throw, still looking, throws it. Oh, just too high.
Walker may have gotten away with a little bit of a illegal forward pass there. It seemed like he may have been past the line of scrimmage, but no harm, no foul. It was an incomplete pass, so nothing for the Warriors to really gripe on. Oh, they're actually calling a illegal forward pass.
They may have heard the broadcast.
They may have heard the broadcast.
So it was intended for Evans, just a little bit too high from Walker to Evans. And they are walking it back now. So they're walking back about 5 yards. So it is now third down at the 33-yard line. Last score from the Spartans was off the turnover in the second. 6:54 to go, 18-0. Spartans over the Warriors.
Now, my question for you is, if you're the Spartans, if you're the Spartans on offense right here, are you okay with going with the pass?
Here's long pass.
Or would you prefer to milk this clock and just run it?
I would pass it. I mean, you're going in, which was a pass going up to Manning. I would pass it. There's no reason right now to even be milking the clock. I wouldn't, unless there's 4 minutes left. And you're, even if you're killing them at this point, I probably still hadn't passed it. So I would pass it. There's no reason to even milk clock at this point, especially with 6:12 to go. Listen, I'll be completely honest. I would be running it up if I possibly could. So Walker is probably going to end up looking for another deep pass here. 4 wideouts. Looks again, gets this low snap, comes across, and dropped. Looks like it was intended for Baptiste.
It seems like the middle of the field on this Warriors defense is completely wide open. All of the big plays from the Spartans offense has been from Walker connecting with his receivers that are just found right in the middle of the field. And credit to them. They keep going to it and stuff like that. It's been successful. I wouldn't hate, obviously they've struggled to run the ball this so far this football game, but I personally would not hate just running the ball and see if that's if that has any efficiency to it at all. As there's a flag on the play, but Walker still continues to play and takes the sack. Let's see what the flag is though on this play. Could be a false start.
So they just get a free play out of it, or we'll figure out here is wait for the officials to make a call. Penalty is declined. After the false start on the Spartans, but a penalty is declined. Now, Spartans look now, they're looking at, they're at 49 yards for the score. They're also now pushed back. Looks about 8 yards. 9 yards from, nope, it is about 10 yards. Because they're at the line of scrimmage up to the 39. So at the 49. So Walker at this point here, I mean, you have to go for at least a 15-yard pass. Well, it looks like it might be a redirect. Takes a snap, looks to his right. Now goes deep, looking, and reception out to the 20. Is it Lockett once again?
Yeah, Lockett once again. I mean, he right now, I mean, he's obviously we're calling his name a lot because he's playing offense and defense, but he's made most of the plays so far. And I'm looking like Tyler Lockett out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And just going up and getting that 50-50 ball right there. He obviously has a size advantage on the cornerback that was covering him right there. But that was also great placement by Walker. I mean, he threw it in a spot where he knew only Lockett could go and get it.
It's a good placement by Walker. 4 minutes left here, 18-0. And Spartans looking to drive. Now Walker looks. He breaks the tackle, runs up the side, and finally comes down. Gains 1 yard on the play. 3:47 to go here in the third. So the Spartans looking, I mean, they definitely have a spark for the first time here in the second half. I would imagine another score here, and I'm thinking that I won't want to say as much as the game would be over, although it might be, but at this point, could the Spartans, and who's to say, I could be maybe one-sided once again, who's to say that the Spartans kind of put on the Midas touch as far as the breaks here a little bit, just to, not to run it up, but again, no one knows. I mean, the Warriors obviously made their adjustment and they came up short on their last drive. So we'll see Walker here now with 2 wideouts to his left, looks over to his right, over to Lockett. Lockett running down, breaks 1 tackle, and gets it down to about the 7-yard line.
That was a very effective and very nice move that he pulled up on that quarterback right there that was about to tackle him. Little shimmy to the left right there and got right out of his grasp and gained an extra 5 yards for that. So that was very impressive from Lockett right there. Once again, name being called out.
Sure is. I might have to talk to the GM and we might have to do a jersey swap. My polo shirt for a jersey from Lockett, but Lockett playing a good game so far. Walker looking good as well. Now Walker snaps, takes a look, looks back to his left. Now over to his right. Is it Lockett again in the corner? Just missed it. Right through his hands. Lockett started to his left, came back to his right. Had 2 defenders on him. Looked like he was going to come up big, but just dropped it in the end. 2:17 to go. Again, here in the third. 18-0 when it comes to the Spartans or the Warriors.
You can kind of tell that the Warriors defense is starting to get a little gassed on this drive right here because there are a lot of players that are on this defense that are also on the offensive side of the ball. So, and with this long sustained drive right here, it takes a lot of energy out of a defensive player. A low snap.
Lose it. Walker still looking for it now. Spartans pick it up, but that's going to be a big loss. So it was a low snap to Walker. End up kicking it. So it looked like he just lost it. It was a loss at least, 20 yards?
That was a little weird right there by Walker. He didn't really he didn't go right down onto the ball and limit the loss of yards right there. Instead, it seemed like he was essentially like trying to kick it away from the Warriors defenders and stuff like that in hopes of I'm not really sure, but it did give the Warriors a better field position from that mistake that was made by the center and from Walker right here.
So at this point here, you got to go deep into the end zone in order to get it. So Walker takes a snap. Nope. Play called dead.
Timeout taken by the Spartans.
Yeah. Now you talk about the Warriors looking gas. One in particular seems like he's really gassed because barely moving around anywhere on the field. And again, I mean, we all know this. It's a game of inches that we know before. Obviously, being here in Florida, humidity it's up high. Again, starting at this game, it was still about in the 90s. So, and not unusual here for us in April when you look at it, mid-April. So, I mean, you have to adjust and climatize your body. You should be in athletic shape, even if it's a spring training game, because a lot of these guys come next week. I mean, they start getting ready for the regular season. So, this is, again, it's a game you're not going to come back to next week. It's not a game you're going to come back to tomorrow. The next time you'll be here is to work for it to try and come back here at this time again come next year. So the Warriors, it looked, Eric, honestly, it looked like they were actually going to drive and score for the first time.
Yes, it did.
And then they come up flat again. So Spartans so far is showing a lot of spark in this game. Walker is going to have to take a look at least a deep throw in the end zone. Lockett lined up to the right. So you got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to your left. Lockett takes a snap, now looks to the left, rolls to his right, still looking, now goes back pedals, throws across. Lockett does not come up with it as he tried to go right up the middle. So the one drive that, is there another time I call her where injury on the play? Nope. So 92 gets back up for the Warriors.
We'll see here if Spartans can come up with anything special right here with what is it? Fourth and
long.
4th and 30 or 4th and goal essentially because there is no first down. So for 4th and goal from the 30-yard line, which I believe an injury timeout was taken right here for Warriors.
I don't know if that was 92 who we saw. He got up. Is it 92? Yep, it is. So 92 had gotten up after the play. kind of got up gingerly. So I wonder if it's a cramp now because obviously
You got to believe it is.
Yeah. I don't think it doesn't look like an ACL. He's about to get back up on his feet here. So it could just be cramping.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is just cramping and just getting hydrated, taking a break from, because you got to think also they're playing on turf, and I had a baseball game yesterday on turf, and let me tell you, I was gassed. All of my fellow teammates, we were gassed after playing on some turf, and turf adds essentially 15 extra degrees from the normal temperature in the air. So whatever it is out there, plus 15, and that's what you're dealing with. So I'm surprised that there's only been one player that's had a case of of crampings. Hopefully, just in the calf, and just some hydration, some cold water. He'll feel better. Some stretching it out, as always. You got to do that.
Well, I did see the high intense hydration station here from the Spartans, so they should not be thirsty whatsoever. So Walker takes a snap once again, looks to his left, throws deep, turns around. Oh, and just missed once again by Locke, just out of his reach to his left. So it'll be a turnover on downs here. Spartans defense will come back up. Walker looked like he was going for Lockett. Lockett almost had his man beat, but just couldn't get his fingers stretched out far enough to receive that ball.
I'm very interested in seeing what this Warriors offense now looks like. They did have some success in their last drive, sputtered short a little bit right around the Spartans' 30-yard line. So let's see how efficient they can be in this drive. Let's see if the Spartans have already adjusted to the play calling that the Warriors had in their last drive. It's going to be a very interesting watch.
Once again, and for those who are joining us this evening, we have 33 seconds left here in the third. 18-0 is the score. Spartans have led this game, and I'm going to go with they're going to lead it all the way throughout, at least into the fourth. We know that guaranteed, but if they take complete control of this game early on in the first half, Warriors look flat in the first half. Looked like they had some life here at the beginning of the second half here, but since then, there hasn't been much going on here. So now we take a look, find out what the Warriors' any kind of adjustments are going to be doing. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to your right. QB just waiting for a snap. Again, this is the state championship game in the spring, so win it and you're the champs. Now waiting for the snap. Warriors finally get it. Looks intercepted. Spartans, and that's going to be a pick 6. Come up short. There's a flag thrown late on, and here we go. Now he's got the helmet off. The Warriors are really getting agitated here when it comes to the Spartans. And that was Lockett there, playing defense as well. Number 7 from the Warriors. Looks like, who is that? The 7 or 7. It looked like 7. I don't think it was 77 there from the Warriors, but seemed to be getting angry. Just Lockett burned them there on the coverage. Intercepted by the Spartans. And then there was just a little bit of a little back and forth going on the opposite side of the sideline. But as we take it down to the end of the third, Spartans up 18-0. And boy, this is where it goes to show you, this is where frustrations start coming in, because
Exactly.
if you're getting upset just because someone covered you and burnt you on the coverage, that means that you're way past being under your skin. At this point, you're just outright frustrated.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no other way to put it. Just frustration coming out here. It has not been a good game for the Warriors up until this point. And obviously Lockett has had himself a very good game. So, I mean, it's just, I would have to say it comes from a place of envy, as anyone has that case every now and then with whatever you're doing. But it is, again, as you said, it's the end of the game. Maybe that player is already mentally checked out and
Right.
just now he's just playing with frustration, which is not what you like to see, because the game is not over. There is still 12 minutes left, and you're down 3 scores, but also the Spartans scored within a quarter. They scored all their points within a quarter. So who's to say the Warriors can't do that right now? They can. It's not promising that they can do that, but again, it's understandable why the frustration that number 7 for the Warriors was showing, but you can't let it take you over and just you're playing with anger. You gotta keep your head in it and just slowly but surely stay within the game.
Yeah, nothing that you do. And unfortunately, this part, I mean, it's late in the day, 12 minutes left here in the fourth. I mean, it's either going to be, it's one way or the other. But right now, the Spartans are obviously showing that they have what it takes to win a state championship game. And I don't believe they're going to lose at this point. But, and again, you just see that defensive line. Okay, here's Walker. Walker looks deep, throwing deep in the end zone. Oh, and dropped. Oh, man. Could have been right there, just completely dropped by James. James had it. That was a beautiful pass to Walker to James. And James had it for about 2 steps and then dropped right out of his hands.
You know what? Whenever that happens, I always think that the receiver's already pre-thinking of what type of celebration that they're about to do when that happens. Because, I mean, he burnt his man. He burnt that coverage. Walker threw a beautiful pass right into the breadbasket. And it's just a simple case of, all right, what am I going to celebrate after I catch this? And
just came up short.
Got ahead of yourself. That's all. But
that's all it is. I'm telling you, that's what it reminds me of the story once again. When Ronnie was playing with the Saints, I was playing with the bench warmers. Producer didn't like that when she tells me no. All right, here's Walker with the snap. Walker looks to his right. Oh, overthrown, and it was almost intercepted.
That was a good read there by number 11 for the Warriors. It's great to see that the Warriors defense is still out there. Number 11, he's still willing to go out there and make plays right there. A little bit of a cautious pass right there from Walker after making what would have been an amazing completion down the sideline right there for a touchdown.
It would have been, made, and it throws you back to still that James has got to be feeling that like I'm literally in my hands. 2 step, the third step, just dropped it and it's a shame it was wide open too. So they take it in for another 6, but at this point, I mean, 11 minutes to go here in the fourth. Yeah, Spartans still in control here. I mean, they've been looking well. At one point, because you can't be one side. At one point, just before the half, the Spartans defense looked to be just a little bit flat. But, since then, obviously they picked it up. Obviously trying to tremendous pressure on the Warriors, so they look good there. And the offense here has been looking amazing so far in the second half. So I've been driving the ball. So see what Walker does here.
Well, new QB right out here. Hollins is taking the snap right here. A little bit of wildcat action.
Yeah, here comes the flags. There might be a hole in a play there as he tries to gain at least, I want to say about 8 yards on a play, but this could be coming back. Could be a hold.
Another player for the Warriors down right now. Seems to be holding his calf.
92,
maybe.
Same one that came in that was out earlier.
Holding the same leg right there. Seems to be holding his calf.
There comes a point in time where you just have to you have to turn around and look like, is it worth coming back in this game? You're down by 18. And I know they want to play because it's a state championship game, but at the same time, too, how much injury you're going to have, especially once again when these guys end up going into practice next week for their high schools. So you got to think about it. If you're cramping up, or it feels like at this point, anything more than that, and this time I don't believe it's a cramp because now he's down a little bit longer than expected on that right leg. Now he gets back up again. So yeah, if you are cramping, the best thing to do is just sit out for the remainder of the game. We'll take a short break here momentarily. All right, so here we go again, the running back, the speedster, and he runs out, gains at least 8 on that loss that they had from before. So is that Johnson? Just had the ball? Johnson's got some speed to him.
You got to think here that the Spartans are maybe wearing the clock down a little bit. Yeah, we want to score. Yeah, we would like to put another score up on the scoreboard, but might as well take our time doing so and get our defense off their feet for as long as possible.
Right. Again, you look at some of the Warriors. I mean, again, not to name names or anything else like that, but it's just it amazes me that you're here to play. You're here to play the game. If you're on defense, you're on defense. You're here to play. So here we go, going across. Now looks for the first time. Grasping a jersey, brought him down. Oh my God. And he's going to do a dance at the end. Oh, come, stop playing. Come on now. It's been nothing from you the entire time. You do one play, now you want to do a little shuffle dance at the very end. And gingerly walks back to the defensive side. So, hey, listen. The first time the Warriors have actually broken through the O-line from the Spartans. 8:23 to go here in the fourth. 18-0 Spartans have had complete control and domination of this game since the beginning of the game. Walker was looking steady. He's still on the sideline. Here's the second switch. James comes out as well, who had that last snap from the last series of plays. Warriors finally break out of their huddle. Trying to figure out what they're going to line up. QB number 15 now on the defensive side. I guess this is where you pull out all the stops with 8:23 to go.
You might as well. You might as well try to again, play some backyard ball here. Just have some fun with it. Just toss it up. Let your receivers have some fun. They have not gotten a lot of action throughout the day, and we'll see if it happens right here.
Here he goes, runs once again. Gain looks like about 6, I want to say. And the flags are down, so someone's got to. So I'm thinking second down and 2 to go, possibly. So here's a snap. A little bit high snap controls, and then the whistle is called dead. Oh, low snap. Still grabs it. Still looking. How in the world? He's still breaking tackles? Well, after all that, he gets about 1 yard after the low snap. And we got 1 word down.
3 Warriors down.
QB. Who else is down? Number 5 is down. So the QB was taken down to the ground. Spartans take a knee. He's getting back up. If I assume anything, he probably got his bell rung. Someone giving a smell test. If he says he's Tua Tagovailoa, then you know you got to take him out the game.
Exactly.
But again, number 5 is still down. 15 looks like he might be kind of aiming towards the groin area, so he must have taken a solid hit. Looks like he might be heading to the sideline. Oh, yeah, he's got to close up to it. You're right. That might be his wrist. So it looks like 15 and 5. 5 is hobbling. Looks like his ankle, his right ankle. from the Warriors. That is Enla, if I remember correctly. So Enla comes out of the game, hobbled off to the sideline. Koa also was out. Clock still ticking. 6:52 to go here in the fourth. Warriors are trying to figure out the lineup here. Now in is Freddie. Freddie went from running back now to QB. Still lining up. Calling him for one player. Finally gets him in.
Finally got 11 men on the field right there. They were about to take the snap with 10.
So they first line him up in the backfield. Now bring him up. Finally, the snap goes to Freddie. Freddie takes, runs with it, goes to the left side, flag on the play. Still comes across, runs it up to the 30, but little high jump there. So Freddie avoided a good collision. This might be coming back. Might be a hold in a play. If anybody's been watching the broadcast here, you've seen she finally stopped running. So we had I don't know if she was going for track and field or not, Eric, but she must have ran around here at least for about 2 miles. She finally came to a stop. So our little track runner who's been running for a good portion of the second half here. This is coming back. So the Warriors are going back. All the way back to their own 45. It's very, again, you don't like to say much, but it's just been very lackluster from the Warriors.
Very much so. I mean, the offensive side and the defensive side, I hate to say it, not much effort, it seems like, on either side of the ball. Not much creativity on the offensive side of the ball as well. I can't really put that on the players for that one.
Right.
But obviously right now their QB is out with seemingly a lower arm injury.
There goes Freddie again, gets the ball. Oh, man. And he gets met hard at the 43. He does get up, but boy, oh boy, Freddie took a good hit at the 43. So obviously he's not passing. He's going to be running the ball. Freddie now heading towards the sideline. Looked like it was right around the hip stomach area when the collision happened, but he is walking over to the sideline. I guess the Warriors taking a timeout. I didn't hear anything called, but apparently timeout was called as Freddie's walking over. So timeout called. Well, once again, I don't know. I think I'm lost for words here of what the Warriors are just not doing. It's ineffective. There's been no adjustment. It looked like a different team in the start of the second half.
It really did. It showed some promise right there, and it's just a little disappointing. I'll be honest. The Spartans haven't run away with this game as I think both of us were anticipating, but the Warriors have also not made a lot of adjustments to keep this game close. As I think the Spartans now are kind of just going to be chewing the clock here and just wanting to get to the locker rooms as soon as possible, I would say. Avoid any potential injuries of sorts. Let's just milk this clock right here and just get to the locker room and celebrate this well-earned championship.
For spring football, I mean, it's what it comes down to, the XSSL state championship. So here in Mulberry High School in Mulberry, Florida, right outside of Lakeland. So it's Spartans right now, they have control, and you're right. I mean, they can, but it looks like Walker might be passing here. So Walker takes a snap. Nope, hands it off. And it looks like it was going to be a loss. Comes across, keeps running. Now looking, breaks one tackle. The second one, still running on his feet, but finally gets taken down. So it comes back to line of scrimmage. Oh, boy. And now laid down is one of the Spartans players. He does get up. We hear the parents just under us kind of going back and forth here. Listen, there are certain things you just want to say, and there's certain things you just can't during a broadcast. But again, it makes you wonder, some people are out here on the football field. You got to play like you want to be here.
Exactly. You put effort in. I mean, that's all you can really ask for. I think that's all that the coaches really are looking for, either is just putting in as much effort as possible and just giving it your all. And no one can complain about that as long as you're just putting max effort in throughout every play, throughout every game. That's all that can be asked for. And there are some players that are out on the field that have just seemingly not done that.
There's a flag as soon as the ball comes out of play. Walker takes it downfield, but that could be coming back unless we see a false start. Waiting for the call.
Another Warrior defender is laying down right now, seemingly in pain.
He took his helmet off, so it looked like he was, don't know if it was unless he got hit in the chest.
Number 6, Taylor.
He is getting up now. It might have been on the chin there because he kind of reached up to his chin at the last second there. The Warriors losing some players here towards the end of the fourth. 2:24 to go. Again, 18-0 when it comes to the Spartans over the Warriors. As the sun is going down here over Mulberry Field. A beautiful campus here in Mulberry, Florida. They would have had this kind of field back in Philly. I would have been like Uncle Rico and Napoleon Dynamite. I got it thrown over those mountains back there. There is no mountains in Florida, folks. I'm just kidding. So Walker takes a snap. He looks, dropping back. Now looks across. Here comes the defender. Walker looks and he drop him back. So it looks like about a loss of 10 yards. Walker did not see the right side coming. Putting the pressure on. 1:38 to go as the clock is stopped at 1:37. So Walker looked like for a second he was going to, he was basically going to scramble out of it, but obviously he didn't. So ended up taking a loss. Here goes another timeout for the Spartans, but looked like he was going to at least get out of it. Didn't see the safety coming in from his right side.
Yeah, and I'm not mad about him taking the sack right there. I think that it's no reason right now to try to force anything. You do not need to force anything right now. Obviously, you could have liked possibly him just throwing it out of bounds, but also I do believe that they are trying to get this game over with, and taking a sack is the quick route to that, and keeping the clock going right there for a few more seconds as the Warriors now come back out onto the field, but this time on offense for could be possibly their last drive. And so let's see if they can put any points on the board.
We'll see. If not, it will be a biblical performance by the Spartans at this point, because they've had complete control of this game. So 1:37 left here in the fourth. Right now, unless a miracle happens by the Warriors, the Spartans are going to be your state champs here in spring ball. There's a snap. Warriors look right to their left and finally goes out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Freddie once again taking a snap, but again, they're obviously not passing with Freddie, so he's just running the ball. 1:27 to go here. As you stated, Eric, and maybe they're just trying to put points on the board here so they don't get a complete shutout. But, there's just been flat out, there was nothing that they can answer when it comes to the Spartans. The Spartans defense just, they kept them in throughout the game. A couple of runs where obviously they let them go, but here we go. Freddie again takes a snap. Now looks to his right, comes back across. runs again. Tackle from behind. And nope, that was not Freddie. My apologies. It was number 6, Taylor. $55 seconds left.
I believe a timeout was taken right here.
So Taylor snapped it. I thought originally it was going to look like it was going to be Freddie, but Taylor ended up snapping the ball. So he ended up coming across over to his right and then came back across the middle. Finally was tackled. But again, you look at this Spartans defense. I mean, they've held them in check all game long. Not too many big plays that were given away by the Spartans. I wouldn't say obviously not expected from the Spartans to give anything away, as they were waiting for this game to happen now for 2 weeks. And again, I'm quite sure Coach, GM, these guys put a better product out there in the field, and that's why they're going to earn this state championship game.
Yeah, this is the closest that the Warriors have been to the end zone. So, I mean, if they can capitalize, great. It lessens the blow of this eventual defeat by the Spartans right here. But I believe that the Spartans still have something to fight for. I think they want to keep that 0 up on the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, they probably do, because at this point, I mean, you have nothing else to lose. But here we go with the snap. Now Taylor once again waiting for it. Freddie to his right. Now Freddie takes a snap. Freddie comes across to his left. Here comes the pressure by the defense. Got him in the backfield. So that'll take a loss of 2 as they were waiting for Freddie to run that with ball. Clock winding down with about 40 seconds left here in the 4th. And not as if the Warriors are going to speed up the process, because as the guys are trying to get lined up, but again, 30 seconds left. High snap. Taylor takes it this time, comes running to his right, caught from behind, let go, and then finally tackled back at the line of scrimmage. 15 seconds ago. That should be the last play of the game. And now Taylor's hurt. And here we go again. Now the Warriors just getting, this is where it gets to the end of the game. No. Spartans don't need to be reading. Don't run out in the field. The frustration is getting to the frustration is getting to the Warriors. This is where we don't need any sides to be cleared here.
Taylor's still right now injured, laying on the ground right now, injured.
GM just running down, letting them know to have the players get off the field here. Taylor's still down.
Won't believe that there will be any handshakes at the end of this match.
I don't believe so. Not at this point. But again, the last thing that you want is the unsportsmanlike conduct, especially at the end of the game. You don't need it. Frustration is already high enough, but this is where it makes a difference, especially if you're going to a college right after high school. Understand that a lot of these teams will take a look, and now what's 15 doing? Who is 15 going after? So 15 is trying to go after the ref.
There's a lot of people arguing with the ref right now.
But 15 is trying to deliberately go after the ref here. The Warriors have lost control. So a lot of emotions. There's a parent. A parent pushes down the ref. He's got him from behind. Nope. Coach Kent gets to him. Coach Kent comes from behind, grabs one of the parent who was making a beeline for the ref. This is getting out of control. And now here comes another player from the Warriors side.
I can't say I've ever seen this before at a high school level matchup.
This is where everybody's got to get their emotions under control. So the GM went down to tell their players to get off the field. The Warriors really now are antagonizing this. They really need to get off the field at this point, because all they're going to do is just keep antagonizing. Spartans are all on their side, so none of the Spartans players are running out. And I don't understand why that parent decided to go across the field to go after the ref. He was going to shove him from behind. Thankfully, Coach Kent got there just in time.
I can tell you what, those refs are not responsible for the Warriors' loss at all.
No, they sure aren't.
There were no absurdly bad calls throughout this entire game.
So you still have a parent out there who's frustrated. Listen, you can be frustrated if you want to, but again, you guys aren't playing the game. The kids out here are playing this game. But don't turn things ugly. That one parent still coming back across. He needs to calm down, take a step back. This is where everybody just needs to come down at this point because there was no reason whatsoever for that parent to go running across the field to go after the referee. Again, the refs you're absolutely right. He had nothing to do with it. At this point, you just got to clear the field. When it comes down to it, it just made absolutely no sense. So you got security has been called in. And it started, honestly, with 15. I don't know why 15 decided he wanted to go after the ref as well. There was nothing they could do at that point. They're still looking at administering to Taylor. Taylor's still down in the field, which is the most important thing. So they're still looking at Taylor. They're telling the players, looks like just to remain where they are. Warriors are finally back to their bench. Some people here, and this is live, folks. This is not something obviously that was scripted. We just, at the end of the game here, Taylor was brought down. Don't know exactly what ended up happening, but one of the players ended up popping up from the Warriors, got really upset, and they basically started melee. The referee was trying to calm everybody down. Then they started going after the ref, the Warriors players, including number 15, who deliberately went after the ref. A couple of his players had to calm him down. And then Coach, again, the GM, Ronnie Gent, came flying out the room where we are upstairs in the broadcast booth to get one of the parents to calm down. But it was just, the entire thing was just unnecessary. Now, Coach, looks like the GM is trying to flag for people just to get off the field. The Spartans by no means had provoked any of this. The Warriors at the beginning of the second half just seemed to be agitated, and they just ended up just, this was just insane. So now the GM's got the Spartans down here on the field. You still have some of the Warriors players that they won't exit out. It's like they want to hang around. And not for a good reason. So right now, the best bet for the Brandon Warriors is just go ahead and get in the locker room. And again, it is not one-sided. By no means am I sticking up for the Spartans, but the Spartans, you know what, show nothing but class because, again, this was not provoked by any means by the Spartans. Taylor's still being looked at out at the 30-yard line. So your Spartans are your state champs in spring football here. So they did win the XSSL state championship, not the way they wanted to win at the very end. And there's one Warriors player that actually came across the field here to shake hands. Two players. So nice showmanship by the Warriors. At least was that number 92, actually, who went out earlier with cramps. Who is it? Let me make sure it's 92. We don't have him listed down here. Number 92 from the Brandon Warriors came across, at least congratulate the Spartans. And you know what? That shows a lot of class.
Taylor's still being looked at right now. Still down on the field.
I've broadcasted games. I've seen games. All kinds of stuff. At this high school level, there's the championship trophy being handed to the Spartans. So congratulations to the state champs, your junior Spartans. But Eric, never seen anything like this. Honestly, I mean, it is as you said at the high school level, and it makes no sense, especially when you're getting parents involved to come across as these Spartans are getting ready to take their team picture. But at one point, everybody gets frustrated. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, too, the players that cause this should also be heavily fined. But there's no reason why a parent had to come running across the field to attack the ref, and it made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, it made absolutely no sense at this point. Obviously, it's still not over with Taylor still down on the field. He has not, I would say, gotten up yet. So prayers and thoughts go out to him. Still much concern going on. I'm just wondering what the plan is for him. He has not moved. They may have fearful of a concussion of sorts or some type of head injury because they have not even thought about moving him. They're keeping him on his back pretty still. Can't see much of what's going on right now because he is surrounded by people looking after him, parents and coaches.
It looks like his right leg is up. It looked like the one of the trainers seemed to. I can't tell if they were trying to massage it. I mean, he is moving because you can see his arms moving, but it might have been that right leg because when he finally came down, it looked like he just twisted the wrong way. So he might be getting up now. Let's see. He's reaching his arms up. I mean, it's good to see that actually his upper body is moving. So the trainer's taking a look and just taking a look to see Taylor. I mean, it was a good hit at the very end. Again, don't know exactly whether it being the hit or somebody else ended up sparking it, but nevertheless, I mean, he's still down. They may end up bringing out, I guess they're waiting for the cart to come out. Someone else is down on the opposite side. Now, I don't know if that person having to go down by heat exhaustion, but it looks like someone's face down on the opposite side of the field. So a lot going on here at the very end of this game. I mean, so that now as I'm trying to take care of both here. So finally it looks like they get off Taylor's. They remove the right spike. And I don't know. I think it's a parent down on the left side of our field here on the opposite side, face down. Again, I don't know if it was heat exhaustion. Obviously, it was nothing provoked. Could have been the heat that finally got to him, but. So Spartans are taking their team picture. Your junior Spartans are your XSSL state champions. Again, a wild finish here at the very end of this game. As soon as we see at least some life coming out of Taylor, we'll end up ending our broadcast here, but we're making sure that Taylor is fine. So we're not too sure. I don't know, Eric, if maybe they called for an ambulance or not, but he's been down now for, it's got to be at least good 7 minutes?
Yeah, it was the last play of the game and all of this extracurricular stuff has gone on. And while everything has gone on with the infighting between players and then the infighting with players, refs, parents, and then everywhere afterward, the whole time, Taylor has been down on the field right there in the same exact spot he got tackled on the last play of the game.
Right. Here comes a stretcher. So, I mean, at least a cart. So maybe they're going to cart him off the field here and take him over to the locker room. We'll see. So at least so that's one situation. The other situation, once again, across the field here is just, I can't tell. It looks like maybe someone had just passed out, but I know they're face down on the ground. And nope. So they waved off the cart. Taylor is still down there. So they may be waiting for Florida medics to get here. He is moving his arm, his right arm at least, so he does have some mobility. What hasn't moved much has been his head, so maybe he could have gotten good.
Yeah, that is the bigger concern right now is the head.
Wait, at first I thought it was a parent, but it might be an actual player down there on the left, across the way there.
He's kicking his feet right now.
Yep.
He's in some serious pain.
Yeah, but he was just laying down because. But now we did see 92 came out here. Unless that was 92 who went back down with pain, because he did walk out the game earlier. It looked like either heat cramps or leg cramps. But looks like a Warriors player on the opposite side of the field. He's down. No, now they got him up. And it looks like, no, you know who it was? It looks like it was 15. The same one that was involved in the entire melee. And he's heading into the locker room. That's exactly what it looks like. It was 15. At first, I thought it was a parent, but it actually might have been the QB there who was down on the ground, face down. Now they walk him over. So that's one player in the locker room, but we're still waiting to see what's going to happen here with Taylor. So you got more people coming over here to find out exactly what's going on. If I'm guessing, I'm thinking they must be waiting for an ambulance to show up. So not the way to end this. I mean, it's as crazy as it may seem, but not the way to end the day. I mean, we started seeing a great game out here. Obviously, the Warriors had not found a way to adjust their game at all whatsoever. But at this point, this is not the way you wanted the game to end as well.
No, not at all. Paramedics are walking out right now to check on Taylor as we speak. But yeah, this is not a good way to end the game. One, because of the injury with Taylor, and it seems like a very serious injury. A lot of concern right there. But then also just everything that happened before, in between the injury with him, and that a lot of after the play extracurricular activities were going on. No, there's no reason to be going after a ref.
No,
at all. The ref, I said this earlier, I'll say it again. The ref they had no play. It was a pretty neutral calling, I would have to say. The ref had no influence on this game.
He did, and there was no. And again, as a parent, we get frustrated. We all have seen this as fans and everything else. We've seen this time and time again. You got to learn how to cool your jets. Don't let what the kids are doing out there influence as far as what you're doing, because it takes one or two to get things going. Yeah, and we know it. It's just a melee.
It's a mob mentality, and that's what we were seeing, especially specifically with that ref right there. I mean, we saw a player go after it. Then I'm gonna guess it was the player's parents that then started going after the player, the ref, and then that man that was literally sprinting across the field. I mean, he looked like one of the players in the game, just sprinting across the field, targeting specifically that ref, and then just trying to shove him to the ground and stuff like that. It's very uncalled for, very unprofessional, and very immature.
Yeah, it is. Extremely immature. So it looks like that. So the first time looked like it was his right leg. That's what it seems like what the medics are working on right now. So I'm wondering if either between the ankle or the knee, but it's what they worked on originally. Like I said, he can't move now. As soon as they try to move him, it seemed like his right arm just came right down. So it could be you wonder if it's either an ACL, maybe just again with the awkwardness, or the MTL, the way he ended up coming down. But the right arm showed the frustration there as the medics had tried to move, seemed like to be his right leg. He does have movement in his body, which is a great thing to see.
Yeah. I'm just hopeful that it's not a head injury or a neck injury. As we speak, the ambulance is right now pulling up. So I am assuming that he will be bussed to the nearest hospital here and checked and they'll check and find out what whether it is his right leg or if it is a head or neck injury. Hope to God it's not, and hopefully it's a minimum of an injury that he could have right now. But yep, the ambulance is now on the field.
So it looks like it looks like he might be, I guess, transported here locally to Lakeland, which I believe is the closest hospital here to Mulberry. Now, the QB who was down earlier, face down, is now back out here again. Now the parent that was involved in it is trying to talk to the coach from the Barrington Warriors. Again, it was completely uncalled for, unprofessional for him to do. And if you're going to now yell at the coach, I mean, they need to get Taylor some room there as you get the stretcher out. They got to kind of back away a little bit, but you can't give the head coach to the Warriors a business for the actions that you did.
Exactly.
So the stretcher did come out. So he will be transported again. I believe would be to Lakeland Hospital. Taylor now, who's been down on the field for at least, I would say, close to 20 minutes at this point since the end of the game. Everyone at this point still crowding around Taylor.
I think they got him up now. No, he's still on the ground.
Yeah, he's still on the ground. The first 2 minutes originally he responded to him where both got up. The second set of medics, it looked like they ended up taking the possibly the stretcher out. Maybe try to lift him on his side, but so now we're just waiting to make sure that obviously Taylor's going to be, at least they get up and put him in the ambulance here before we end the broadcast, because again, we want to make sure that he is fine. An unbelievable end to the day here in Mulberry. So they're waiting to see what they're going to end up doing with him. Looks like now they may be possibly trying to lift him up. So Taylor, who's been on the ground now for at least, it's got to be at least 20 minutes plus at this point, being attended by Polk County Fire Rescue. And they are bringing out the stretcher. So it looks like they're going to lift him up via the stretcher and then put him on the gurney. You know, I would think for anything, it would be just for obviously for his safety in case it is a lower injury to his body. He's had upper movement. He's had movement in his body for the last 20 minutes plus that he's been on the ground. So that's a good sign. So it looks like they got the stretcher under him. So he should be getting transported here momentarily. The one thing I don't see, Eric, is a neck brace. So it looks like it wasn't a hit to the head, but yeah, but that right leg has been kicked out since early on. So we'll see what.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that as the neck brace. If that shows up at any point, it'll clarify to us more if it's an upper body or a lower body.
But they just put the stretcher in too, so it probably is a lower body injury.
Yeah.
So they're just, I guess, trying to take every precaution they possibly can. The way end up lifting them up as they just divided it in two. So it could very well be to. Again, it was a twist at the very end of it that seemed. I mean, it just ended up being a big pile. It wasn't like it was intentional. It just looked like a big pile at the very end, the last play of the game, and he just obviously happened to have the ball and the way he was twisted down. So we hope that he's going to be okay. They are trying to lift him up slowly now. They've got him by his jersey and the shoulder pads. So now it's just putting his stretcher back together here so they can get him in, get him transferred, and have him take a look at. So as we hope that he's going to be fine, the prayers go out to him and his family to make sure that no matter what, yet at the end of the day, we're all human. So we hope that he's going to be fine. The young man that just trying to play some high school football. So they're taking a look. They finally got him up. And now on the gurney, so at least, again, the good sign is he's had the upper body movement the entire time, so that's a good sign. Now it's just the being transported over, and then let's just hope for good news for him and his family. All right, so we're going to cut away from the feed here. Obviously, the Polk County Fire Rescue has been able to at least to take care of him. And again, good game overall. It's just that at the very end, it's just a shame that the way things ended. But nevertheless, Spartans are your state champs. So I guess that's one way to look at it. But at the same time, too, you got to keep your emotions in check for sure, especially if the game is getting out of hand. No matter which way you look at it, it's a game. I don't care how frustrated you get as a fan, as a player, it's a game. Not everyone's going to win. In this society, everyone wants participation trophy winners. It's not going to happen on the gridiron. It's just not. So it's not the way we want to see the game end. Obviously, it was a great defensive stop by the Spartans. Warriors just couldn't adjust, and in the end, they ended up losing the game.
Yeah, you summarized it perfectly right there. In the game aspect right there, You said everything that we've reiterated throughout the entire game, mainly the Warriors not being able to adjust to the Spartans defense, and the Spartans offense just kind of did what they wanted to do to the Spartans defense. And then obviously there's the stuff outside of the game that should have never happened. Obviously the injury with Taylor, that's just circumstance. It wasn't intentional by any means by any of the Spartans defenders.
Right.
It just happened to happen. That's all. And obviously everything that happened afterwards should have never happened. It should have never happened. It shows a lot of immaturity, especially by the parents of those teams. You're supposed to be a quality representation for your children. Show them how you're supposed to act.
Right.
Lose with honor, essentially, and that you show no honor by going after that referee that had no influence in the game at all.
Nope. Unfortunately not. So, well, that'll end our broadcast as Taylor is finally in the ambulance. So he will be looked at. And again, we're assuming he's going to Lakeland Hospital here nearby. So, Eric, I'd like to thank you for coming out and helping me here on the broadcast. Again, end up enjoying ourselves, and my producer, Debbie, that probably the most of anybody's ever seen on camera. So thanks to my producer. And again, to the Spartans, congratulations on the state championship. And I guess we'll wait until the fall and do this all over again.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
All right. So everyone, enjoy your night and have a great rest of your weekend.